I'm going to share my screen so we can start looking at the Tree of Life, the Kabbalah Tree of Life. Hopefully I haven't left anything dodgy on my screen, like, you know, Jason Momoa naked or anything like that, and it will share that with you.
Oh, please share away.
So yeah, okay, right, okay, try this.
Don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
He's actually a really sweet guy and totally devoted to his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
That's good.
Which is really heartwarming.
Is that shared? Has that worked?
Yes.
Yes. Success. Ta-da. So, Tree of Life. I really realised that's the last time that I have to close one image before I can share another one. So I'll do that. So this is, I'm sure you've all seen this image. And of course, you've also seen it in the deck, mirrored in the deck, especially in the 10 of Pentacles. The shape of the Pentacles do create this, this image. And you'll see it mirrored in lots of different places in the tarot, especially when we go to the Thoth deck as well. And then you've got the priestess, of course, all of this time. We've got the two pillars of the Tree of Life shown, the left and the right pillar in the priestess at the very, very beginning as well. So we've got the feminine is the dark pillar, the black pillar, and the masculine energy is the light pillar, the white pillar, conscious and unconsciousness. And so we're going to look, of course, in a second about how the major arcana are the pathways between the Seraphoth, or Sephiroth, I think you say. But first of all, I'm going to show you how the minor arcana fits onto the, because apart from the court cards, I'm sure there's probably a way people to fit the court cards on there as well, all the minor arcana fit onto the Tree of Life also, and that can be a really fun and nice way of remembering it. So I'm just going to stop sharing this screen, find the other one I want to show you, and that one, share screen. Okay, right. I'm sure there's an easy way of doing this, but there we go, cool. So you've got the 10 Sephiroth there, and from the, it's like a tree reversed, because you have the roots of the tree almost at the top, the beginnings of everything at the top, and then you have the fruits at the bottom. And we've got the Malkuth, which is us, which is earth, is at the bottom of the Tree of Life. So I think Tracy has joined the meeting also. Hello, Tracy. We're just going through the Kabbalah Tree of Life very briefly, Tracy, and we're just looking at how the minor arcana and the major arcana fit onto this ancient mystical and magical system. So at the top there, we have Kita, and that is number 1. Keta, Kita. I'm sorry if my pronunciation is off for these as well. And that is represents the crown, the purity of life. It isn't even formed yet. It's something totally unformed. So you've got all the aces that are connected to Kita. So everything that's pure energy manifested is in Kita there. So it's like the Ace of Cups, all of them, this pure force of life, which hasn't been tainted by anything, which is neither masculine or feminine, just this absolutely universal purity is all connected to Kita at the top, and it's at the beginning of where life kind of whirls and starts there. And this is the highest part of the Tree of Life, which also, of course, is the root of it. So the left, sorry Tracy, hi there lovely, we're just going through the Tree of Life quickly, the Kabbalah Tree of Life. We've only just started, so you haven't really missed anything at all. And just telling you that we're just going through how all the minor arcana numbers fit onto this this format, which is really, really fascinating. Yeah. So the left side is, of course, the black pillar there, the feminine pillar. And on the feminine side, it's the quite, apart from the top one, it's quite the harsh lessons. It's the tougher lessons that come up on that side, because that represents the unconscious and the things that come out of the deep. And then on the right-hand side, Hokmah, Chesed, and Netzach, you've got the lighter energy. The masculine energy represents the light, the consciousness. So they're usually the brighter lessons. But if we all had that fluffy brightness, we'd never be formed, we'd never get anywhere. So it's kind of like the personal trainer on the left-hand side. And on the middle, you have, of course, Kita, purity. You've got Tiferet, which is beauty. Yesod, which is sort of the collective unconscious. And Malkuth, us in earth, as earthly beings. The mystical, mysterious, missing Sephiroth there is Darth, Darth Vader, the dark unconscious. So you've got the collective unconscious in Yesod, and you've got the dark unformed, the things that aren't even formed on that. I'm pointing. No, you can't see. I need like oh, Shane, I can point, can't I? So I've got this. There we go. Magic. Yeah, so I've got Darth there, which sometimes isn't counted on some of the Tree of Life. It's just missed out completely, which is of course why Darth Vader invades your unconscious. That is the sense. It'll be the last time I mention Star Wars to you guys. I hope you will be very sad to miss all my Star Wars references every week. Anna's face doesn't seem to think that she might.
Well,
you can't escape them anyway, so it's okay. So we've got the Darth, yes. So we've got all those different Sephiroth, which are kind of absolute planetary and energetic magical portals. So we start off with Kita, all the aces at the top. Then we go down to number 2. This whole tree is manifest within a split second. Energy goes down as not even a split second, so quick. It's lightning fast how energy goes down this from the heavens, from the highest heavens to earth. And possibly our job as humans is to ascend through these levels back up to source. So the aces go towards Kita, purity. Then we go down to Hokmah, and that is wisdom. And that is ruled, well, people say it's by Uranus, people say it doesn't have a planetary aspect. You can, I've read people have said that only the planets start at Bina, but Kita is purity. Hokmah can be ruled by Uranus. But this is wisdom and the masculine energy of all the twos. So all the twos in the suits, 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, and therefore when you have the pure force, it is the first connection with anything in Hokmah, so that brings wisdom. You can know itself, can't it? When something has something else to mirror it from, you kind of gain wisdom and knowledge. So all the twos exist in Hokmah, and the top 3 are called the supernal triangle. This is the divine triangle up here, and the earthly triangle is down here. This is a divine 3. So then we go across to here and we go for Bina, which is the really beautiful divine mother energy. And it's called understanding. And this is about the real primordial mother energy, the Mother Earth, the oceans, that which creates from nothing, this the great mother energy. So of course you've also got the Empress as the great mother. We're not kind of going into the major just yet, but all the 3s are ruled by understanding, and as a whole all the 3s apart from the 3 of Swords are lovely cards. They're positive cards as a whole, and so the great mother rules that energy, and yeah, well with the 3 of Swords it's kind of necessary understanding of situations as well. So all the 3s are there. So you've got divine light, father energy, sort of the first masculine energy, and the great mother coming together there. Bina is ruled by Saturn, which I find very fascinating. And if you remember on the last major arcana section, that the world card is also ruled by Saturn. So it's the things that are worth working for with Saturn. It's not the quick fixes or the simple pleasures. It's the stuff that is really worth the effort and the rewards that come through. So yeah, all the 3s belong to Bina, understanding. Then we go lightning down to Hesod. Am I going too quickly, or is this okay, by the way? Cool, okay. Hesod there, which is mercy. And this is ruled by Jupiter, the big, happy giant and of the solar system, who is so clear in the sky at the moment. It's just making me so happy. And as we know, all the 4s represent that stability, that foundational structure. So what is said around Hesod is it's kind of unconditional giving. It doesn't matter if you're good or you're bad, you get support from Hesod. It's called mercy is the name for it. So the 4s are just structure, and this isn't saying you're deserving or not, you just get given what you need in life with Hesod. So there's no judgment about, do you deserve this, have you gone wrong, is la la la. It's like you get structure, you get stability, and all the 4s are represented by this Sephiroth. So yeah, 4 Pentacles, Wands, Cups, Swords, and they all are kind of basic gifts of mercy and of Jupiter. So now we get the challenge. We've gone from divine light, lightning down to learning of understanding itself, wisdom and understanding, through to mercy, given the basic of life. And now you're going to get your challenges with Gavura. And it says strength on this one, but often it's called severity. So, you know, you need strength to kind of get through severity. But this is if Hesod was the nice, kind, you know, just gentle father that did anything for just to have an easy life, there you go, son, just take that. 5 is Gavura is the mother going, no, you don't. Like, that's not going to happen on my watch. So 5 comes in with a big, strong life lessons. And you need to be strong to survive them. And of course, we've seen that over the last 10 weeks. We've seen all the 5s when the universe goes, no, you don't. Like, this is not going to stay that way. You know, 5 of Wands, Swords, Pentacles, Cups. It's that wibbly wobbly shake up feeling, which Gavura brings. And Gavura is ruled by Mars. So it's very red and raw and shaking things up. You can see it as good cop, bad cop on either side of the tree of life. They got Hesod as good cop, Gavura as bad cop, saying no, that's not going to happen. So yeah, these are, as I said, Bina, Gavura and Hod are all sort of the divine feminine, and those are divine masculine. But the good thing is totally equal. There is, no matter how much religions have been made as sort of more masculine based, even I imagine that I don't know much about mystery systems in part, but I imagine this is also mystery system, sorry, that is quite masculine leaning, but the basic of it is equal, which is really, really nice. So Gavura, Mars, and then we stop in the center and we go to one of the nicest ones of the tree, Tiferet, beauty. And Tiferet is ruled by the sun. And it kind of looks like a sun in the middle there, just beaming out on all the different angles. So it's just the shining light in the middle of the tree of life. And all the 6s are kind of like that as well. You get thrown by the 5s, and you often get brought back into healing by the 6s. So ruled by the sun, rebalancing, harmonizing, and giving a bit of a blessing after the first sort of struggle that you've had. And then we go down to the 7s, which we know that the 7s as well are kind of more feisty energy, but they often represent desire. So this is what your own personal desires, and this is ruled by Venus, and it's called Victory. Netzach is ruled by, it's called Victory. And it's interesting that the goddess of love, or Venusian energy, is called Victory, but I think that it's pushing those desires to move forward. So you get a lot that goes in with the Venusian energy with Netzach and all the desires and all the 7s. So remember the 7 of Cups, where there were so many desires they couldn't make their mind up. 7 of Wands, where they had to fight off everybody else for what was theirs. 7 of Pentacles, when they'd achieved everything and they were being a bit not sure, happy or not about it. 7 of Swords was stealing stuff, so another sort of desire. And 7 of, is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them, isn't it? Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah, so the 7s representing around that energy of desire and victory that comes from that. Then we go across to Hod, which is called Splendor, and that is about the intellect. So you've gone from understanding at the top with Bina, severity and strength with Gavura, and the intellect. So you're really developing sides of yourself on that left-hand side of the tree. And so that's ruled by Mercury, and it governs all sides of intellectual movement, and all the 8s are like that as well. 8 of Wands, suddenly the ideas are flowing really quickly. 8 of Cups, you know you have to get away from something that doesn't feel right for you anymore, so you're taking a change. 8 of Pentacles, your intellect is building up your life for you. And 8 of Swords is intellect's going a bit crazy and it can't work out which way to go. And then we go to another beautiful one. We go down, almost finished. This is apparently traditionally the end of the tree. So that's the Yesod there is, you know, where the tree ends. And as I mentioned earlier, that Malkuth is the fruit. We are the hanging fruit up the tree. You know, the Yesod in isn't thought to be the lowest point of the actual tree of life. And that's ruled by the moon, and is the real collective unconscious, the real sort of the psychic connection. And the nines are the completion as well of a lot of the suits, mainly for good, but sometimes not for great, if we remember them all. 9 is almost that completion. And I think because 9 is always, we've seen that the character is always on their own in 9. It's like that is the soul's on its own completion, and therefore then after that it often has other people in it when we get to Malkuth 10, because you've kind of gone on your journey and now you're moving forward to the rest of the world with number 10. So yeah, 9 is ruled by the moon. And then we go down to the kingdom of earth. This is us, guys. So the energy's flown down from Keter in a lightning strike, like in the tower, with that lightning strike in the tower coming down, hitting the tower. It was traveling down the tree of life, going, oi, that's not going to happen, boom. And we've got that lightning energy going down to Malkuth. And from the kingdom of earth, where we are, it's the world, it's us, guys. Our human energy is to have understanding and reaching back up again. And so that the energy continually travels up and down the tree of life. And before we go on to the major arcana connections, you could also see the chakras system on the tree as well. So you've got Keter at the top, obviously crown chakra. And then when you go down to Chokmah, Bina, that's the third eye. Then you go down to Gevura and Hesod. You've got the throat chakra for communication. The Tiferet is the heart, the shining heart in the center of it all, the heart chakra. Then you go down to Victory and Splendor, Hod and Netzach, which is the solar plexus, confidence. And Yesod, the unconscious, of course, is your sacral chakra. And the root chakra goes down to earth. So you can put the chakra system on there as well, which is quite nice. And again, helps you see the process of it. So any questions about that before we go on to the major ones? Is it helpful to know that sort of bits and bobs? It's quite fun, isn't it? It just puts another bit of structure in what we've already done. So Anna, do you have a question? Anna?
Yeah. Where do you leave the page, queen, king?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're the only ones that aren't on the tree of life, unless there's different ways you can see where they'd fit on. But I don't know if they've been put on the tree of life. I've not seen anything where they are, which doesn't mean that no one's done it. I'm sure people have done it, but maybe they could be seen as the beings going up and down the tree. I'm not sure.
No, but if they're not there, then it's clear.
Yeah.
I was thinking with Venus, can it also be because Venus is also if your wealth, you're succeeding in business and stuff like that, why it's in the 7?
Yes, absolutely, having the physical pleasures and luxuries, isn't it, with Venus as well, having all of those things, which, yeah, absolutely.
And does Malkuth have a planet to it?
It's us, the Earth. Earth, yeah. Yes, so it's us, guys. You don't look, you're right, Anna, with that one. You hear me?
I didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, it's Earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
And the crown one?
No chakra, because it's pure beyond.
No
it's
planet.
pure. No, sorry, no chakra. Sorry, no planet, because it's pure beyond all connections. Some people say Chokmah doesn't have a planet. Some people say, but Uranus has been written down for it as well, which I quite like, because Uranus is that spark of crazy, isn't it, which kind of makes things happen. So, and also the Fool is on that link between Keter and Chokmah, and that works with Uranus, I think, as well.
Yeah, thank you.
And I like Darth being there, because there is something that not everything can be knowable. Not everything can be put into a little circle and said, this is that. And I think that Darth is that the mystery, like the dark matter that you have there that you just can't place, but is still there in the depths of mystery. So I'm glad that that's been put on. And right, I'll just get the other screen back up. Da-da-da. I have to make sound effects when I get the screen up. Okay, there we go. Cool. So, yeah, this is the, you'll mostly see this one with the major arcana going between them. And yeah, you can of course study this more in your own time, because there's a lifelong worth of information now. You can see the old connections, but you can sort of see at the top from the infinite energy, the full comes down and goes down from that divine high place down to learn wisdom. And then the path of the mother is there, so you can see how the different paths go together. Severity and mercy have strength between it, and you can sort of see, look at the two different meaning, the two different sephiroths, and see what links them and what skill you'd need to have to master that as well. So you probably will never need to know this for a reading, but I think it's more for personal knowledge and development and spiritual use of the tarot. And it's also, Flamingo, but people go to you like, the tarot, that's just some kind of hippie stuff, or, you know, it's been given an unfortunate cheapening over the last few hundred years. You can go, well, actually, no, this is the whole structure of the universe here. This is how the kana fit onto the whole fabric of your reality and your awakening and understanding. And they'll go, but yeah, it's a good thing to have up your sleeve anyway. And interesting, between beauty and victory is death. It's just great to see the roots and the roads going between them. The tower is between splendor and victory. Yeah, it's just and of course the world is coming down to Malkuth. And it's interesting because of course the world is the end of the story, but it's kind of the grounded. So it's all, you can see there's all this energy that has been brought down and channeled into the world card, which is nice. And then you can see the world can go back up and start again. So again, I'm not going to go into every pathway because that would be kind of a long time, and also you can look into it more if you fancy yourself, but just to say this is kind of a really established way of looking at things and how the tarot does fit in with the structure of a very ancient and powerful magical and mystical system. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Any questions at all? Any more questions at all? Sorry, Tracy, you kind of came in the deep end there, didn't you? We've just gone into the depths of, we've kind of gone straight into the depths of all this stuff. It's not normally we don't go into this sort of such a strong, but I thought it'd be nice to go through that before we close the course, because I think it's really fascinating.
I can imagine.
Is this where the tarot came from, Laura? Has it always been aligned with the Tree of Life?
Since Waite did it, since that era. So, I mean, maybe before, I don't know so much, but we know for a fact that they definitely used that as a framework. So from that Victorian times, maybe before, but it's not, I think they shifted a few things around as well to make it more in line with it as well. So, but you know, there's that many, there's always been that many amounts of major arcana cards, and there's always been that many of numbers. So, and I would imagine there's always been a link to that or something similar, but that's not sort of factual. We just know that Waite and Crowley and team around that time did make an effort to put it on that system.
Thank you.
No, it's cool. It's fast. I love it. It's like a good geek fest about it all. I really, and you don't have to memorize it. Of this one is, I'll show you. That's a different one. I'll show you one more of the illustrations. Of these are all online. I've just found them online. They're just quite nice illustrations. But there we go. Show you that one before. Okay. So yeah, another one of just sort of maybe because they're all direct way up on this one. It could be an easier way of seeing where they all are. And I think I sent this one out today as well.
Oh.
Good. Okay. Good. That's good. So
I think it can help if you are looking at a problem and you know that you are somewhere in this part of the tree and you can't find a solution. It could help to see which paths are near, or if you can go back to another position and look from there. I think that
absolutely that's perfect. And you could sort of see the lessons between the two, couldn't you? You could sort of see what's this and what's that and what could they teach me about the journey. Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely nice to see the that divine energy, especially I like the top bit in particular. It's like that kind of spark coming in and where it kind of develops. It's very interesting. As I'm not a Kabbalah expert, you can do a lot more research and find out a lot more about this, obviously. I have done a bit about the Kabbalah, but I've never got very far. So
you could dedicate your life to it if you wanted to.
You could. If you wanted to. I think, it's utterly fascinating. Stop screen sharing. Wait a minute, how do I stop screen sharing? Oh, there at the top, there we go, cool. Okay, so we can now put our normal tarot heads back on again, like that was our clever tarot heads for a minute, and we can put from the sublime to the not ridiculous, but the more human needs of life. So we have to thank Anna here for the poor group earlier on in this week had this, what they had to deal with. This was my description of the relationship spread that I sent you. Like, poor guys, this is what they got. This. It's rubbish. It's utter rubbish. And Anna was like, give it here. And she made it into, let me show you what we have now. So we're going looking at relationship spreads. Next. There we go. This, I mean, what's better? I don't know. I think my scrappy version has obviously an edge on this. And it's a good job of making this look like a decent spread. We'll come back to this in just a second. I want to go through another one first. I'm going to share a couple of spreads with you about relationships, because that is a big part of what people will want to know and what you guys might at times want to know about the tarot. So I'll show you the one which again is not amazingly done, because I didn't make it posh yet, which is the most common one that I used, I made when I started doing the tarot. And as I say, if it ain't broke, don't need to fix it. I've always used the same spread for people with this. I generally always use this one. So here, where is it? Who stole it? Wait a minute, I'll just get that back up.
But I think the more you use a spread, the more you get a feel for it. So it really helps to use the same one.
I think so.
Uneasy to have another spread.
Come back, Helena. Come back.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As long as it is not you falling.
Yeah, as long as you're all right.
No, it isn't. Just my monitor, just my my iPad. It's all good.
That's all right. That's okay, as long as it's not damaged.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely, and I totally agree with that. I think particularly if you're doing a lot of readings and you don't know the people as well, and if you have a formula that works in your head, then it's like half the work done, isn't it? And you and the cards know what's going on, your guides know what's going on, you just go back into it. So I do use the same spreads a lot, unless I'm just trying something out for myself or for new, you want to try something different. I generally just stick to the same thing that I always stick to. Okay, so it's a very badly drawn out, but not quite as bad as the other one, so we'll go with this one for now. This is my general fail-safe relationship spread. It doesn't matter if you do the cards in a different order to that. You could do that, you, them, you, them, you, them. I've just put it like you, because I like to think about the energy of one person and do all their cards, and think about the energy of the other person and do all their cards. But you could do it like, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you think is best. But I just do it like this because it's So and there isn't a specific time frame that I put. You could choose a specific time frame if you like, as in I get a feel for each reading, how far in the past. This is always present. 3 and 8 is always the present. It's always what's going on at the moment with this connection, how they are together, and you can see with looking at the 3 and 8 how in alignment they are, which is generally not, because people don't often come for readings when they're in alignment with their partners. People don't come and go, I feel great about everything very often. They do sometimes, but usually it's because there is a misalignment in the present and you need to kind of look at what's going on. So I have the beginning of the story with those two. So that could be early. I usually put it as about 2 months behind, but it doesn't have to be. It depends on what you feel. You could choose what's right for you. So I start this with maybe a couple of months ago. But also to say, if cards come up here which suggest a different timing, you know, if there's weather in the cards, I just didn't know that was actually the winter of this year, I would, you know, I'd go with that as well. Or star signs in the card. This is maybe like last month or a few weeks ago here. So it's then it's now. So I want to see a story of where these two people have been and what has brought them to this moment. Where have they been? Usually it's been totally misunderstood, or like it's been terrible, now it's better, or it's been great and now it's a misunderstanding. You can just sort of see where the, you know, we looked last week at sort of just connecting people. You can just see where they're at. And then you get how you're now. And then we've got like going in towards the next month, seeing how they're moving forward. And then you can have the longer term view, which again could be a couple of months, or whatever you feel is right. And I use this pretty much all the time because it tells a good story, and you get a real sense of if these two are on the same path, or if right now in life they're just not. And it's or it brings up the problems, and so you could then look at how you could work with each other to kind of fix the problem. So if actually there could be massive misunderstandings and one person has depression and they couldn't open up and the other person took it personally, you could then address that, and it could give understanding about where the other person has come from, so that can help move things forwards. So it is really simple, but I think because the stories are flowing, and you really get the flow from past to present, so past, present, future, but also how the up and down, how they are doing, it gives a nice overview. Of course, then afterwards you could pull more cards on what to do, action to take. But whenever anyone asks me for a relationship reading, I will go to this. You may not find it helpful for you, but I thought because it's one that I always use, that you might like to use it as well. I will at some point make it look posher. I just at least you guys didn't get this today. That's all I can say. The bad one that the guys got. I did feel sorry for them. So yes. Any questions or thoughts about this spread? No, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's probably not like or any, yeah. And again, someone asked me the other day, they asked, you know, but what if it looks really terrible? And I was like, it is what it is. But you could always, I mean, the person probably knows if it's going that badly, but if it does look really terrible, you know, you could pull cards on what action to take, what is blocking it. You can pull extra cards to find that, and you'll get a feeling if it's fixable or not as well. But this is just the baseline to see. If you've got a total stranger in front of you asking about someone they like or their partner, then this is a nice way of looking. But I'll put this up in the group page as well. Maybe I'll make it look prettier first. Yeah. Cool. No more questions? Any questions? And then we'll go to the one that Anna made pretty. Okay, here we go. This is much nicer. Okay, there we go. So this is the one that I use, not as so much as storytelling about how things are going to go. It's not so much about how things are going to go. It's maybe a snapshot at seeing a connection between people and where they're aligned, where they're not aligned. What is, if you know, what is going on. You could say as well that you could miss out the middle three if you didn't want it to be like a big spiritual reading. You could just have it the A and the B and seeing how they're connecting. But if you sense there's like a higher connection or a soul connection or something else going on with it, then you would want to use the middle three as well to sort of see where these people are on those levels. So again, quite self-explanatory, but it's quite a nice one. Person A is you or your client or who you're talking, and person B is the other person that they want to look at. It, of course, is a relationship, but it could be a friendship, it could be a work collaboration. I mean, I've only ever used it for relationships, but you could be, you know, it doesn't have to be love, it could be other relationships. And again, so you're seeing how they connect on the mental level, on the mind, on the thought as 1 and 4, how they connect on the heart, so where their hearts are at, 2 and 5. Physical connection, physical attraction, or the physical reality with those 2 at the moment, 3 and 6. So you can get a sense of the blocks that are coming up in all of those areas, or the blessings that are coming up in all of those areas as well. So they could be really aligned in certain areas and really misaligned in other areas, or maybe everything's perfect, you know. Again, this isn't a forever thing. It could just be for the moment, just sort of see what is there, and because of course we can always shift things. And then 7, 8 and 9, of course, again, if you didn't feel it was that spiritual, you could knock them out, but I like these 3. 7 is looking at your higher purpose, your soul purpose. If people feel there's a soul connection, a soulmate, a twin flame connection, or any of those terminologies, you can sort of see what that is with 7.
Mm-hmm.
What 8, the hearts together, like what is the connection of their hearts together and their physical earthly connection or mission, or what they're doing here on earth at the moment, or what's going on for them together on earth at the moment, what's their experience of earth together right now. So I think this is quite a nice one to do.
So this is more the current connection of the other spread.
Yeah, more kind of expanded.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. And to give a bit more of an understanding of where you are and all the levels, I think, with this. And you could always change if you felt there was a different thing you wanted to put in mind, heart, you want to put spirit, or you want to change it, of course you can. But I think it's nice how you think about each other, how you feel about each other, and what's physically going on with each other is kind of a good framework to see. So yeah, it's a nice one to do. Again, it's more of a snapshot. It's not so much about how to move forward, but I think sometimes it can be just nice to know what's going on. It can be very confusing to know what's going on sometimes, so it's good to know. So my little guinea pigs.
Cue witchy laughter.
Yes. I am now that fox gif on Facebook that goes so out of these 2, out of the really well illustrated one and the not so illustrated one, is there one that you would like it's nice because we're a smaller group, so we can go a bit more in depth if you want to. If you'll come to, I've always stopped recording, of course, when we get on with the spreads. I'm not going to record the spread, so have a think for a minute. I'm going to say something else, and then have a think for a minute if you would like one of these readings right now from your teammates, or you'd like to give a try of doing one of them for somebody else, either the relationship one we just did or this one, or both. You know, we can do what you like. It's your Sunday evening or morning. But before I start recording, is there any general questions you have? It doesn't have to be about what we've spoken about just now. I'll stop sharing for a minute. It can be about anything to do with the tarot at all. Do you have any, any burning questions or thoughts that you want to bring up? Tracy? You're right, Tracy. So you've had a hard day at work, has it been? Even a long day at work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got that kind of face of work. No, are you sure? Are you sure nothing's come up that you want to ask at all? I mean, you can ask on the Facebook page if something comes up over the. But it is our last live session.
I know.
And now, what are we going to do with our lives now?
Yeah, exactly.
Ask the cards. Boom, boom. Well, we can have Tarot Club. I'm trying to work out a monthly meet, so it can do that maybe once a month, or you don't have to do it every month, but like if I organise it every month, people can drop in and drop out when they want to. So we'll work on that because I like our little Zoom meetings. That's good. So, okay, I will stop recording now. And would any, yes, I will stop recording before we start doing the readings, and I record your readings.